All right, in this video, Bill is going to be talking about the status bar.
Woohoo.
What do we have, Bill?
Well, the status bar is this area down here at the bottom.
Good enough. That concludes the video.
Later, guys.
It's a great video.
So what does it provide for us?
It kind of like provides information on what you're doing and status on what's going on, and then some extra controls as well.
Okay, cool.
Let's start at the left here. We have the MaxScript Mini Listener, which, as you may recall, I used a little bit in the last video to create a sphere.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Fancy sphere creation.
So you can type fancy things in there and make cool things happen with 3ds Max.
You can type in the white space, and you could see status in the pink space.
Okay.
So let's say I want to just create a sphere. Boom. There's your sphere.
The sphere.
Yep. And then you can actually see status here. However, you actually have to go up into the MaxScript Mini Listener, or in the MaxScript Listener, and you have to turn on macros in order to be able to see status here.
Don't worry about that, guys. More on that later.
You can actually see it.
Right.
As I'm moving, you can see the status changing.
Cool.
And
so basically, everyone out there, that's just for code type stuff that allows some pretty powerful things to be done. Period.
Absolutely.
We're going to keep this simple.
Yes. And here we have the status line. This tells you which kinds of objects are selected and how many are selected.
Okay.
So let me quickly create another sphere by doing a shift drag along the x-axis to clone it. Hit OK. I have two spheres. I'm going to do a selection drag. And now you can see we have two objects selected.
Right.
Nice.
And if we had a bigger resolution, you could actually read that whole line.
Right.
It's kind of cramped up because we're kind of small on the resolution.
Right.
Now this next area down here I'm really excited about. Bear with me, guys. I'm a little excited. I'm ecstatic about this one. This is the prompt line. This is Max's way of kind of guiding you along commands and helping you out and telling you what to do.
Okay.
So let's say we want to go back up to select and link. We want to link an object to another object. We click that. Look at the prompt line down here. It says click to select an object, then drag it to assign it to a parent.
Okay.
So I'm going to obey. I'm going to click to select the object, drag it to assign it to a parent, and now you've selected and linked.
Excellent.
I love that little prompt line. It's very handy.
Kind of a help line in case you get stuck using a tool.
Yeah. And now here we have the selection lock toggle. And now this allows you to basically fix on selecting a certain object, so you can't unselect it and you can't select other objects. I'll go ahead and turn it on, and I'll show you what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's locked. You can only select that one object. Now if you go down to the Move tool, I'm not even clicking on the gizmo, but I'm still moving.
It's very nice.
Right. So you are locked right onto that selection. Now, it is important to note that there is a hotkey to activate this.
Yes, there is.
And it's a real easy hotkey to tap, especially if you're coming to Max from other 3D applications.
Big hotkey.
Yes. Yeah, very large. It's probably the biggest hotkey on your keyboard.
Yep, how big your hotkey is.
That's right.
It is the space bar.
Right.
So hit the space bar now. Watch the icon.
Boom.
It is now toggling the selection lock toggle.
So, I mean, it's very handy if you want to... basically, I don't know, like you said, fix in on a particular selection so you can't unselect it, so you don't accidentally grab anything else in your scene. But remember that you've turned it on, because nothing is more frustrating than sitting there going, why can't I select anything else?
Right.
Why can't I deselect this object? Remember, your eyes should immediately cut down to the lock button and see if it's on.
Sure. If you're using another popular Autodesk product, you may be using that hotkey for other things.
That's right.
That's right.
Just make sure you watch that icon, guys. Moving right along, we have the Transform Type-In icon here. Transform type-in. Interesting. This is actually in relation to the next thing, the coordinate display here.
Okay.
It allows you to type in exact values for your transforms. And this allows you to toggle between absolute and relative transforming.
Cool.
Why don't I just do a quick example to explain this. We have our two spheres. I'm going to move one up in Z, say about maybe 50 units or so.
They're both coming along.
They are.
There's a hierarchical relationship.
Yes,
when
there
it came to
is.
Demonstration from earlier.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to unlink that selection.
That's okay. I don't think anybody else heard us.
Shoot, yeah. Good thing that wasn't recorded. Yeah. Okay, so now we've moved up one of our spheres in Z. The other one is staying along the way it should be. And let's say we want to move them both.
Okay.
And right now we have this set to an absolute mode. So let's say we type in 50 for Z, see what happens.
They both go to 50.
Right. They both go to the absolute value of 50 units positive in the Z direction.
Cool.
So I'm going to hit Control-Z and undo that command. Now I'm going to switch this to relative mode. I'm going to type in 50 again. They've moved relative to their initial positions.
That's right.
So
Cool.
that's what that does. And moving right along, we have the grid spacing icon, also known as the grid settings display. This tells you how big each grid line is in max units.
Wow.
That's kind of a mouthful. But yes, that's what it is.
So, in this case, each grid space is 10 max units.
Right.
Gotcha.
And now down here we have the time tag. I'm probably going to hold off on that until we get into animation. This allows you to label different frames of your animation so that you can quickly get to that point in time later.
Cool.
Kind of like a text label for your animation.
Like a bookmark.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And, actually that's it. I do want to very quickly, we're not going to get into any detail for the animation controls down here, because we are going to talk about animation in a separate video. And then we've already addressed the viewport controls quickly in the viewport video.
Right.
But we just wanted to kind of lay everything out here. And, of course, the timeline and the time slider will also be talked about in the animation video.
That's right.
All right.
So that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.